Welcome back to Career Build Series. This is episode 112, and so in this episode we do a little bit of coal trading here. I converted the Mack R dump truck into the Mack R tractor, and so we're going to start with that. And one of the reasons I did this was the Mack R has a higher bumper. It's designed to be an off-road vehicle, and so one of the benefits of this is I can, with the lower height and with it having a the lower height, I can get into the tunnel. So I want to go ahead and try to go do some coal trading with this. Alright, so I want to use my bottom dump trailers. My bottom dump trailers were released a while ago. I want to go, where is it? And so I want to go do a run with those. Here they are, BD set. And so we're going to take a set of 2. I was asked to do 4. 4 is just too much. 4 is excessive. That's going to cause me problems. So I'm actually also going to do... I don't want to have to hook up the cable, so I'm just going to go like that. And I'm going to spawn this in. Okay, so we are set up here. The set's going. And I'm going to go ahead and hook up. Alright. For some reason... Oh, it's the wind. I was like, why... Okay, let's do this. The wind is ridiculous. There we go. I was like, why am I blowing all over the place? I was afraid there was some issue with the game. You know, I've been trying to do this video a couple times. It's the wind. The wind has caused me all sorts of problems, so I just downed the wind a little bit. Wind was being ridiculous. It was gonna make it so that I couldn't do any operations here, so I just reduced it a little bit. Yeah, I was like, why, you know, this has never had sliding problems before, and it's having all sorts of sliding problems. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, the wind. Alright, and so this should auto reset the funnels when we get a little bit of coal in there. Alright, so we should be all set to go here, hopefully. Let's get it out of reverse so we don't listen to it. Yeah, I was wondering, I'm like, I looked and I'm like, the trailers are now sliding around. I'm like, is this a bug? What is it? I'm like, no, the wind was very high, so... Alright, so I'll go out and do spectator really quick just so you can kind of see what we're working with here. So we have a set of 2 trailers. These are coal trailers, of course, and they dump out of the bottom. And so we're going to go do a coal run with this. Alright, and so this was built, the tractor is set up so that I can go through the tunnel, and so that's kind of why I set this up. And so I'm gonna go make a little bit of money. We need a lot of bit of money, and then once we have a lot of bit of money, we can go and we're getting close to having a lot of bit of money. We need about 100 grand, I would say, at least. Now once we have that, we can once we have the 100 grand, we can kind of, we'll be over 300 grand, because what I need to do is I need 200 something to launch my oil tanker. And I need enough money left over to be able to actually buy the oil. And then so we can then print some money with that. I want to get into the, home ship. That's one of the reasons I created this career build series, was to use the home ship. Okay, we're fitting. This is the first time I've been in here, so I want to make sure we fit. Alright, and so we can gain a little bit of speed. I shut vehicle damage off, and the reason I did that was going up and down the mountain, I've been having a heck of a time with hitting any bump, and vehicles have been blowing up. I don't know if it's a little bit of desync or what it is, but it's causing me some issues, so I shut damage off for right now. Wasn't adding anything to the game. It was just, if it was realistic, I would love to leave it on, but right now it's causing me issues. And because of my eyebrow here, I can't see where I'm going. So I need, oh, yep, we're way too close. Let me see if I can't still recover this here. Think we're alright. Let me set the brakes. I'm going to leave the motor running. I also had an issue with the... I tried doing a mission up here with the Pinnacle, and even... I need to reassess that. And even when I shut it off, it was draining enough battery that it killed the battery, and so I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to leave this running. Alright, I need to line up better. I couldn't see when I came in. Alright, let's line up better, and then I forget the capacity of these. It's not huge. We're not going to make a ton of money on this, but just kind of fun. I haven't played with these yet. And I figured, let's do that. Let's play with my toys. So, alright, I bet I'm way off here. Alright, I'm starting to have issues here. Alright, let me try to get lined back up. You know, this is very exciting. Me lining up like 8 times, but, what is the wind doing? Alright, I'm gonna shut the wind off for now. Problem is because I can't see above me. That's like if you had a visor on a real tractor. It makes it tough to see where you are. So. Okay. Cut back in here. Don't have third person, so I need to kind of just... Okay, straight ahead now. Kind of cheating with this, but... I don't want this to take all day either. Alright, so that's lined up. I just need to go forward just a hair. Alright, perfect. I'm going to slam on the brakes and then we'll be good here. Alright, good. I'm going to leave it running. I don't want this to end up... Okay, so that first one came out because I have it set so as you can see, this is lit up. These doors will automatically close once this reaches 0. And so the point of this is they start open. When the coal falls in, they close. And then once it reaches 0, it will cycle it again. And the whole point of that is if the key is, which I should add some more logic so it does it automatically, but essentially, so like I can pull this over the drop zone where you sell it, and as soon as it hits 0, it resets it so that when I come back here to fill it, I don't have to go back and set all my keys for my trailers. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to stick this. I don't know why that one wheel's spinning, but it is. Okay. And let's load that coal in there. I have 3, so this gives me a total of 6. The frameless dump holds 9, so that's more profitable, but thought it'd be cool to use this as a toy. This is just kind of another cool little toy to use. So these have a capacity of 225 per, so we're talking 675. So 675 is the number we're looking for. So we're a third of the way there, or what is it? 1/6 of the way towards the total thing being filled. So while this is filling and the boredom will come, I'm going to go ahead and kind of look at some things. So I want to do a bunch of different stuff with the Mack R. I like the chassis. Chassis is working really well. Everything's nice. So one of the things I want to do is build a Mack R tow truck, because we're inevitably going to run into issues where we need a tow truck. I actually, I have some pictures I'll post on the Discord. I tried doing this same mission with 4 trailers, and it wasn't working, and so I ended up having to go and get out the Maz and try to tow it up the mountain. I could use the winches to get it up. I might add a winch on this anyways. And maybe a ground anchor or something to help me, but so might try doing a Mack R tow truck. Let me try that. So that would be kind of cool and fun, I think, to do, is make a Mack R tow truck. Kind of nice, cool, old school tow truck. will be fun, I think. Yeah, so this gives me some good inspiration. So do that would be kind of cool. Inevitably, I'm going to need a tow truck, so that'll be some fun, I think, to convert it. You know, eventually what I'm going to do is I need to do it at some point. I think it'll be good for, you know, those who like a more realistic truck. Like my, you know, I've set up the engine of this and the Pinnacle to be pretty realistic. The gear ratios are within 0.02 of the real gear ratios for the Eden Fuller 10-speed. So I kind of want to build a chassis, a truck chassis, and put it in the workshop where it will have an engine, a transmission, and the chassis with all the wheels and everything else, and all the associated microcontrollers. And all you have to do is then go and build whatever you want. You want to build a cab, you want to make a straight back, you want to make it a dump truck, you want to make whatever, you can do that yourself. But, you know, all the mechanics will work. So we're almost there. 75 is a full load. So we're getting close here. I'm going to go jump down and shut it off before we waste any. Okay, good. And I'm checking alignment here. I should be able to drive straight ahead. Let me go ahead and I'm going to save this as loading coal. Okay. And then I'm going to I'll go ahead and I'll drop the drop axle because we actually have some weight on it now, so that would make sense. And I'm using my mirror actually to line up the next one, so who knows if I'm actually going to be able to line it up with the mirror. Pretty close though. I just don't want to overshoot it. Okay, let's check it again. Okay, I can give it the beans. Set of doubles is very hard to back up. And I'll kind of, you know, as somebody who drives doubles multiple times a week, I'll kind of, you know, I can talk you through it here. So see that shut off as soon as that one coal went in. Okay. So what you have here is you have a dolly. And so this is a permanent dolly. You can also have dollies that you attach to trailers. They don't work well in game. I'm trying to do testing to get them to work properly, but I'm struggling with that. They tend to not want to behave. But so when you're backing up, you get an accordion effect. So for those who don't know how to back up a trailer, you know, when you're doing a straight back, like if I just had the tractor and you want to have this wheel go this way, you would turn the wheel to the left. So you want this to go this way, you would turn the wheel to the left. Now it makes the trailer go the opposite direction. And so then now you go opposite direction again with the dolly, opposite direction again with the trailer. So the more trailers you have, they just keep wanting to go in opposite directions. And so it makes it very challenging to back up multiple trailers. And so that's something that, you know, is tricky. So you really don't want to get in a situation where with a set where you have to back up. What you'll actually do is you'll drop the trailers and move the trailers before you try to back them up any sort of distance. So you definitely need to plan a little bit more when you're using when you have multiple trailers like this. So let me get this coal in here. Okay. All right, so we are about a third of the way there, so this is good. I didn't want to spend too much of the video doing loading, so that's why, you know, the 4 was a good idea, but it's just way too heavy. You know, especially that doesn't even have any coal in it yet. In 4, I was struggling getting up and down the mountain here. Drop axle is down. Is drop axle down all the way? I think it is. I think it's interacting with the ground. Yeah, I think they are. Alright, so I also made a stretched version of these trailers. I've been playing with a bunch of stuff for train, for loading that train car. So one of the versions I have is I added an extra axle and I stretched it and made it longer. And that one can actually be picked up with a crane. So I was trying to decide, oh, do I make a crane truck? What do I do? I think what I'm going to do is make a crane car. And that will, I'll put the crane body on the train car, and then the train car can load the can actually load up the train itself, And then what I'll do is I could either bring it with me or detach it. And then at some point I want to make a train, a crane truck, or most likely a self-driving crane. And so what I'll do is I'll just take the crane section off. So I think that would be kind of fun. A lot of people have been asking for some crane stuff, so that could be kind of cool to do. So I'll work on that at some point. Kind of getting interested in doing it. Maybe I'll work on that next. I don't know. But need to refine the train some more. I need to get away from the train. I've been doing too much train stuff, and it's kind of dragging on me. I did a lot more videos than what has been published on it, trying to get there, and it was tough to it's been tough trying to get that set up to work properly. I need to do some more research to get my I need to fix my container car, so just a bunch of stuff. Okay, this is done. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we are full. Let's go ahead and let's get out of here. I'm gonna save this again. Let's try to go up the top of the mountain. If it fails, I'm gonna reload the save. So we're doing all right on electricity. I need to check the pinnacle, and I need to check this and why. Make sure we're not losing electricity when I'm just sitting, because that caused me problems with the pinnacle where I ran out of juice. I think what I'm going to do too is certain missions I don't mind doing at night. Like this stuff, you can't see anything, and it's tough for me to go up and down the mountain when it's nighttime. So I'm going to end up using the custom menu to change the time. Like I turned the wind down. Wind was blowing the vehicle all around. If I was out to sea, I'd keep the wind on full, but with this, it's just a pain. I'm going to grab a couple picks here. This seems to be functioning well. Like I have damage off now because I'm running into issues again where if something's realistic, I want it on. If it's not, like if it's a game limitation, I want it off. And so it was just, I was hitting the smallest, tiniest little bump, and it was making the tractor explode. And so it's like, that is ruining the game for me. It's ruining RP. It's not realistic. And so those kind of things, I don't mind, quote-unquote, cheating. Again, I think you should play the game how you want. And if it's realistic to me, or if it seems reasonable, I'll do it. I did multiple videos trying to get something done, and it was just like these bumps here, right here, there's something that causes an explosion, right there. And so it's like I'm not dealing with that all day long, of having explosions. So a lot of these issues, I need to make a tutorial of how to edit your save XML file, which maybe I'll do today. I don't know. Figure out what I'm feeling, but I think that'll be helpful, especially for new players. I operate equipment, IRL, and I've been doing it for quite a long time. I was an airline pilot. I drive trucks now, and so I've always, pretty much my whole life, I've operated machines. And so for me, backing up a trailer, even in game, using the mirrors is pretty easy. Flying a plane inside the cockpit and land is pretty easy. But I realize, a lot of people just don't have that experience or don't care to, do it and want third-person view. So I'm all for set the game up how you want to play. At the end of the day, if you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. Set the game up so you're having fun. The point of it is to have fun. Set it up so you're having fun. We're going to turn the Jake on to remind people of how a Jake works. So on the top of the engine, you have your cams that actuate the valves of the engine. And so in a four-stroke, which is what I'm not going to go into two strokes, but in a four-stroke you have four different cycles. You have intake. On the intake with a diesel, what happens is the piston starts going down. The valve opens. The intake valve opens. Now there's a blower. The blower is like an impeller pump. This blows air into the cylinder. All right. Now when the piston gets all the way to the bottom of the stroke, the intake valve closes. The piston starts coming back up. Now that's compressing the air. Now when it gets in a diesel, when it gets towards the top, it injects with the injector vaporized diesel into the center. Now, in a gasoline, you get a heterogeneous mixture where you have pretty evenly distributed fuel and air. In a diesel, you get a homogeneous mixture where the diesel is mostly up top and the air is very concentrated at the bottom. And so what you get is detonation. And so the fuel will ignite. The ignited fuel, being hotter and changing state, essentially, it expands. Now you have a confined space with high compression and you get expansion. Well, what's that going to do? It's going to push the piston back down. That's your power stroke. So you had intake, compression, power. All right, so now that pushes the piston all the way down to the bottom. All right, so now as the piston comes back up, your exhaust valve opens up. And once your exhaust valve opens up, the piston pushes your exhaust out. That's how you get the exhaust going out, the exhaust stack. What a Jake brake does is it essentially turns your engine into a big compressor. So on the compression stroke, as the piston comes up and starts compressing that air, that's putting resistance into the system, and it's causing essentially some back pressure isn't really the right term, but back resistance on the wheels. Well, that's causing braking. So that's, exhaust braking. Now, normally what would happen is, again, on the power stroke, is you would inject fuel to then get power. Well, you don't want power. You're trying to slow down. So what it does is, instead of that, it opens up the valve. And it opens up the exhaust valve. So you get compressed air from the cylinder blowing out of the exhaust. And so you'll get this, it goes lub, 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 lub. If you hear that, when a truck's slowing down next to you, that's using the Jake brake. And so it does this on top of the engine by the cams, or where the valves are. The Jake brake, when it's activated, which you want the switch on, you want your foot off the accelerator, essentially, it opens up the valves, and that allows that compressed air to come out the exhaust. And so that helps you slow down. And so I simulated that in game. But just for anyone who's mechanically inclined or interested, that's how a Jake brake works. Use them all day long. The Jake is nice. It lets you stay off your regular brakes, especially when you go down hills. Like, say you're coming down a big mountain, it's going to take 20 minutes to get down this mountain. Well, if you're riding your brakes the whole time, you're going to get brake fade, and your brakes aren't going to be as effective. And so your brakes start heating up because you're using your brakes all the time, and they fade, and now they're not as effective. Well, so you have less brakes, and they're, and so you're coming down this mountain. Well, you're going to get into a situation where you don't have enough brakes to slow down. And, people take it for granted. When you're driving a regular car around, you don't have that much momentum, relatively. And the car doesn't push you down the hill very much. When you're in a truck, especially if you're hauling a heavy load, that's trying to push you down the hill the whole time. And so you'll notice sometimes if you're driving extra trucks on hilly terrain, when it's going up the hill, like, for example, I go through Connecticut a lot in the hills, sometimes I get down to 35 miles an hour going up a big hill on a highway that has a 65 mile an hour speed limit. And so a car passes me. And then I get to the top of the hill, there's a flat section, so now I speed back up to 65. And now I come to the downhill section, and the load might push me up to 75 miles an hour, and I pass the car, and the cars are probably like, why does this truck keep going slow and then passing me, and keep going slow and passing me? Well, it's because, might have, 50,000 pounds pushing me. So I have to pull 50,000 pounds up the hill, so it slows me down to 35 miles an hour because that's all I can do. And then now I have 50,000 pounds helping me go down the hill, and so I don't want to ride the brakes. I don't want to heat my brakes up the whole time I'm in the hilly section. So I can use the Jake a little bit, but that's trying to slow the tractor down. It's not helping slow the, the trailer brakes aren't working. So you need to be careful that the trailer doesn't try to come past the tractor. That's how you jackknife. And I also want to run on that hill. So the next hill is coming. I want a little bit of speed so that I can try to get up that hill and not go 35 up every hill. So just kind of an interesting little truck thing if for anyone who's interested. All right, let me see if I can get in a 10th. I'm doing good speed. I'm doing 51 miles an hour here. We're actually Probably, I just put it in 10th. I don't want an indicator in this one. I can visually inspect. That's 10th. I can also tell by my speed and my tack what, you know, the tack's off because, you know, I had to fake the tacks because the engines in game, if you did realistic RPMs for the engines in game, they're way too loud. So I found if you do about, what is it? I think I'm multiplying by like 1.75 to get this tack number. I think if you do about 50% of the RPS of a real vehicle, it sounds about right to me. You know, a lot of what I do shifting-wise, a lot of how I tell my speed in real life is by ear. Like, I can tell my RPM by ear, I can tell my speed by ear, because I know if I'm in 10th gear and my engine sounds like this, I'm probably doing 62. You know, I can probably usually get it within a mile an hour of the real speed, and that's because for a given gear ratio, that's a given speed. And so if you know you're in 10th and it sounds okay, we're probably about 1350. You can probably tell, okay, I'm probably doing about 62 maybe. You know, if it sounds like, oh, it's probably about 1400, I'm probably doing 65. You know, so you can tell by ear. And so, like, I don't have to check my tack when I'm shifting. I can do it by ear. You know, and that's just something you pick up after doing it for an inordinate amount of time. But just, you know, kind of some cool truck stuff for anyone who likes trucks and is interested. So I assume if you're watching me drive a truck around a game, you may be interested. So maybe you're not. Alright, so let's dump this coal. We made it. So 2 trailers is good. 4 is ridiculous. I'd like to try to do a set of 3, but do triples. But we shall see. So let's dump this. You know, I don't know if I need a damage off. You know, that section that I was telling you about where that's usually where I have an explosion, I wasn't going to risk it again. It just wasn't worth it to me to risk that. So, you know, at some point we'll get back into the train. I really want to get the train up to the Arctic. I ran it all the way up the Arctic. The video didn't make it. I had issues with my container car. The coal was fine. The container car was having problems. My train's not really there yet to do a run up to the Arctic and be efficient. It's just I have too many things I still need to work on. Let's get this set up here. I kind of see where I'm at. Try right about there. I think that's good. Let me set the brakes. And you should be putting your engine, if you're going to get out, in neutral. Oh, I went to 10th instead of down. And then that's neutral right there. So you can see I can tell what gear I'm in by the position. So that's neutral, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then going through, once you split it, it does, you know, it goes through the rest of the pattern. It's actually not splitting, it's range selecting, but colloquially some people will call it splitting. We need to back up just a hair. Yeah, let's see. Back in the setup's not the best idea, but it worked. Alright, so I should have checked our money before I kind of went and did this. I don't know where we're at, but we'll make money. You know, these are, what are they, 675? So we're talking, I can figure this out here with all of them doing it. So 547. I think it was $1.50 was the buy. Let's check it. See what we didn't make a ton of money, but I enjoyed the mission. Kind of good to get back in a truck. So $3.97 per. Okay, and then what is that? $13.50. All right, so we're talking. No, it can't be that high. I screwed something up here. Yeah, it's got to be $5,359. I put an extra. I screwed up a decimal place. It was like, no way is it that much money. So this was not a lot of money, but that wasn't the point. The point was make a little money and enjoy it. You know, what do we have here? We've got a mission. What's that saying? Fire. Okay, so this seems like something maybe want to do. Alright, so that might need a katydid with a bucket to do. We'll see what I'm feeling, but, you know, we're not making a ton of money with this, but we're making some money. Let me get it out of reverse. I don't need to listen to... That noise is already annoying. Don't need to listen to reverse. Alright, so what I was talking about with the key is I have the key set up where it will automatically shut it off once it empties. Just the benefit of that is if I forgot to close these hoppers, and I pull under the fill again, so say I was doing 2 in a row, that's going to cause me an issue where I just dump coal all over the ground and waste it. And so coal is not all that expensive, so it's not the end of the world, but, you know, this is a money-making endeavor, not a money-losing endeavor. So see it just shut itself off. All right, and so we'll, do I have a coal on me? I thought I had one on. I think I threw it up top. So, all right, let's pull ahead here, and let's get the next one in. Probably put it in gear would be good. Alright, let's try there. I'm going to slam the brakes on. That would be miserable in real life. You just put the brakes on like that. Alright, a little bit. You do actually get out of your truck quite a bit. Depends on what you're doing, but like if you need to, you get out and check. You know, it's the safe thing to do. And again, especially with this being a set of doubles, I don't want to try to have to back this up. It's very difficult to back up, especially in game. And so, you know, it's much better to just take it slow and try it out. But this was a toy I hadn't used. I built these and put them out and did, you know, of course I did some testing, but I didn't, you know, I didn't actually do a mission with them. I just filled them up and emptied them. So this is the first time I've used these in game. So, you know, didn't make a ton of money, made $5 grand, but, you know, a little bit of money, got to use our toys, kind of get to showcase the new Mack R. I kind of want to get the Mack Rs out, you know, at some point I'll get them out. You know, I'm just not there yet to where I'm happy with them and they're working perfectly, but yeah. So, nice little mission here, getting a little bit of money. You know, I also, one of the reasons I wanted to do this, I wanted to test, make sure I can get the Mack R reliably up and down the tunnel, which I can. It goes up through fine. And then I'm going to try to, at some point, I want to use my new trailer based on these bottom dumps to load the train. And doing some train runs would be kind of cool. It's super profitable to run a train up to the Arctic. You see it's 36.72, so we're talking, what's that? So that'd be 35.22. Yeah, 35.22 for a unit of coal is the profit. So you can see that is good money there. You know, I need to work on the train some more. I'll probably do a lot off screen, and then I can kind of go through what I did, but I'd like to get a sustained 60 miles an hour up there. That will be good with, say at least one coal car and a, if I can do one coal car and a container car with 4 containers, that's going to be nice and profitable. I think I was talking 200-something thousand per run. So that starts getting me into good profitability. All right, so let's put these away. So I'm trying to decide the best way to put these away. It's going to be a pain to get these put away, so I'm going to try, and if it's a mess, I will, I think, you know, I can probably use the electric cart to put them away if they're a problem, but let's see if we can put these on the workbench here. Okay, let's try this. I might need to bring the electric cart out for one to see, so figure this might be useful in seeing how to get rid of some of your equipment here. Okay, do I get it there? Let me see. Too many vehicles, so I need to back up just a hair. Alright, you can see the accordion effect there on the kite. I'll show you as I get out what I mean when I say that the trailer's accordion. It's kind of a weird word to say, but you can see how it kind of bangs it all up and makes a mess. That's what happens. This is going to be a pain. Alright, so I'm going to end the video there. I will, on my own time, just put these away. But thank you for watching. That was a fun mission. I enjoyed it.